Hello, my name is Pei and this is YAMA.
Oh, scary! Oh, shiver my timbers! Shut up!
Originally designed as a duo encounter, YAMA puts emphasis on movements and prayer switching, and as stated by the developers, is a step up from the post-Desert Treasure 2 fight of the Forgotten 4. In case you wanna learn how to fight DT2 bosses, you can find a pretty neat guide on my channel. The fight takes place in the depths of Chasm of Fire, for which you must have completed a Kingdom Divided quest. The boss introduced a new mechanic in a form of tradable contracts where you can fight him in a stronger form and earn guaranteed rewards. But in this guide, we're just gonna focus on getting our first solo kill with as budgety mage gear as possible. Since YAMA is a demon, we wanna use demon bane weapons, and since we're using mage, the purging staff is an absolute must for this encounter. You're gonna fight a 2.5k HP boss, so you need to have a weapon that slaps, and purging staff with dark demon bane and mark of darkness is exactly that. Now this is my absolute max mage gear, and if you can afford it, you're going to have a pretty easy time dealing with YAMA. If you're really struggling with cash money, don't worry, there's some room for downgrades in this setup. By swapping out the Magus ring with Seer's ring eye, Tormented bracelet with Barrow's gloves, Eternal boots with Infinity boots, and Elidini sword with Book of Darkness or Book of Dead, our gear value dropped from 90 to 36 mil. I really wouldn't recommend going below this setup, since remember, this boss has 2.5k HP, and longer you're in the fight, more chances he's going to drain all of your supplies. So from my perspective, the following items are an absolute must. Purging staff, obviously, a curse scepter so you can reduce YAMA's magic level and defense, a melee demon bane weapon such as Dark Light, Arc Light, or an Ember Light, and Trolls. The rest you can figure out yourself. Use any of my setups or refer to the OSRS wiki for guidance. The supply game is very simple. Just bring around 4 restores and fill the rest of the inventory with hard food, preferably 1 or 2 combo food for phase 3. It's important to know that YAMA can poison you, so just pre-pot an angler and extended anti-venom before the fight. You can always bring a Senfu to deal with poison. Don't worry, the fight is not that hard. YAMA has 3 phases and he's using same attacks across all phases with the exception of phase 3 where he adds an additional attack. So we're going to split this encounter in 2, phase 1 and 2 being the first part and phase 3 the second. If we take a look at the outlay of this room, you'll notice these red and black glyphs on the ground. The fight starts with you facing south and moving in a clockwise direction, with this glyph being the starting point. YAMA has 2 basic attacks, ranged or a shadow attack, and mage or a flaming attack. If you're standing next to a black glyph, you wanna pray mage since he's going to attack you with flames. If you're standing next to a red glyph, pray ranged against the shadow attack. In this clip, the fight starts with these 2 black glyphs being the closest to the throne, which means YAMA is going to attack with mage, so I prayed mage. The important part here is to never stand in the middle of the glyph, unless you have to, and you'll have to stand in the middle to soak YAMA's special attacks, which will be our cue to move on towards the next glyph. If this is the middle of the glyph, you wanna stand anywhere around it, but not too far away so you can reach the middle on time. He's going to do a few rounds of basic attacks, and at one point he's going to completely change his attacking animation, which indicates a special attack. Every time you see an unordinary attack animation, it means he's doing a special attack. Remember that. I saw the animation and I moved to the center of a black glyph, soaking up the special attack. Once the glyph turns gray, that's our cue to move next to the other glyph in line, which in this case is the red glyph. So here we're going to pray ranged since we're next to the red glyph. We're going to wait our cue for a special attack, stand in the middle once again to soak the special, move on to the next glyph, and so on and so forth. While you're circling around the room, YAMA will use several arena hazards to keep you on your toes. The first one being the shadow wave. He'll spawn waves of shadowy flames either from southeast or southwest, moving across the entire arena. In phase 1, you'll only have to deal with 1 flame, and in phase 2 with 2 flames, which usually intersect somewhere in the middle area of the arena. You can skip these waves like almost any other attack of similar fashion in OSRS. Just time until you're 2 tiles away from the flames and run over them. That way you won't take any damage whatsoever. If by any chance you take damage from the waves, they'll disable your protection prayers, so be wary. Second hazard are these flames which spawn from east and west, and if not avoided, they'll deal some small amount of damage and root you to the ground. The damage isn't the problem here, it's the root, and if you're standing far away from the glyph, it can potentially screw you over and you can miss your special attack soak and you never wanna miss those since they do a shit ton of damage. The last hazard are the void flares. Yama will summon these orb looking things which have to be destroyed before the yellow bar fills or they will explode, dealing damage to you and healing Yama. These can hit for up to 44 damage each, so it's best advised to kill them on time. The fastest way to kill those is by utilizing the Purging Staff special attack. So you wanna attack the flare once with a regular attack, then use your special to finish it off. The special attack effectively changes your attack speed, so when you use it, you can almost immediately switch your target and attack again without delay. Also, if you kill your target with the special, it will refund all of your special attack points, which is kind of neat. In practice, you're going to attack the flare once normally and then spec to finish it off. Immediately after the spec, you're going to attack the other flare and then either use the spec or just finish it off with a regular attack. If you use the spec on the second flare, you'll get a free quick attack on the boss as well. But the most important part is to finish off the first flare with a spec so you can get an immediate attack on the second flare. Yama phases out on 66 and 33% HP. He'll send you down to another arena and you'll turn yourself north and jump across these stones to reach the Judge of Yama, avoiding any fireballs in your path. There's no delay when jumping over the stones, so you can just click as you go and your character will follow. Usually you can just jump through the whole thing in one go, but if at any point you see a fireball coming towards you, just stop, wait for it to pass and continue forward. Judge of Yama will always pray melee and ranged at first, so you need to attack him with magic. After that, he's going to pray magic and ranged, so you're gonna hit him with melee. All you need to do is swap between mage and melee and avoid fireballs. You can do simple movements like this, or you can walk under him in between attacks for some extra damage, since the fireballs can hurt him as well, your choice. After Judge of Yama is dead, you're gonna be teleported back to the main area. My advice is to turn your camera south. So when Yama phases you out down below, you wanna turn your camera north, and when Judge of Yama phases you out back above, turn your camera south. This just makes it a bit easier for you to prepare for what's coming next. Once you're back at the main area, attack Yama as soon as you can, since he's gonna walk towards you and melee you if you don't attack him on time. You've done phase 1 and now you're in phase 2. Just do everything the same as in phase 1, there's little to no difference between the two. Once Yama reaches 33% HP, you're gonna be phased out to Judge of Yama once again, so jump over the stones and finish him off. This time, he's gonna send you above, but Yama will stand in the middle of the room and he won't move. In phase 3, you don't need to walk clockwise or stand on glyphs or even worry about the hazards from the previous phases. You're just gonna stand on a few tiles and it's going to make your life so much easier, trust me. I'm usually not a fan of markers and extra clutter on the screen, but for this fight it's definitely worth it. I'm sure there are a lot of variations, but I took this from a creator called Shawnimate OSRS, so make sure to check him out. The markers are also in the video description below. It's worth to note that in phase 3, Yama will constantly alternate between his basic ranged and magic attacks. You will know for sure which attack he's going to start with by the color of the glyphs which are closest to the throne. So if you have two black glyphs next to the throne, Yama will start the phase with a ranged, or in his case, a shadow attack. I believe the biggest damage maker in this phase are his basic attacks, since in all honesty the telegraphy is pretty bad. The way I deal with this is, I just watch his hand movement. If I see a shadowy animation, I'm praying ranged, and if I see a fire wrapping around his hand, I'm praying mage. It works for me, so I'm sticking with it. You're always gonna start the phase on the start tile, and you're not gonna move away from it unless there's a special attack forcing you to move, and after every such attack you're going to move back to the start tile. There are 3 attacks that you need to watch out for in phase 3. These fireballs that fall from the sky, these shadow waves that intersect in the middle, and void flares which now have half HP. Fireballs can drop on you either horizontally or vertically. These numbered tiles indicate where you're going to move, depending on which direction the fireballs take when falling from the sky. So if the fireballs drop horizontally, you're going to move on these 1, 2 and 3 tiles, then straight back to the starting tile. If fireballs drop vertically, you're going to move on these 1, 2 and 3 tiles, then again straight back to the starting tile. It's really easy, just give yourself a few tries and it will click. During or after the fireballs, Yama will either send shadow waves towards you or spawn flares. If he spawns flares, just use your Purging Staff special on the first flare and quickly finish off the second one. If Yama sends a wave towards you, just wait until the waves intersect on the green X tile and click on the second blue mark tile, like so. This way, you're going to completely skip waves and nullify damage. And that's the whole phase 3. YAMA will constantly attack you with basic attacks and drop fireballs on you. Occasionally, he's going to spawn flares or send a shadow wave towards you. It seems too much at first, but once you embrace the tiles, I promise you the phase isn't that hard at all. Just keep your HP and prayer topped at all times and focus on dodging the attacks and praying correctly. After a few tries, you're going to be able to sneak in a few attacks in between each dodge and you're going to slowly chip away his HP. Trolls will help here as well as the accursed capture spec, and I usually spec him at the beginning of phases 1 and 3. Don't forget to use your Mark of Darkness. It lasts for 5 minutes and it increases the accuracy and damage of our demon bane spells. It's not a hard fight, but it takes some time. Just for the reference, my personal best here is 7 minutes and 19 seconds. So let's say a normal solo fight can take you anywhere from 7 to 9 minutes, which is quite lengthy for an OSRS boss, but it was never designed for solo gameplay, so there you go. Good luck on your first kill, hope you get spooned, and see you in the next one.